Welcome viewers to another episode of SolidWorks tutorial. This is our lesson 4 and I remain your instructor, Vincent Hope. Today we're going to be still working on sheet metal. This is the part 3 and we're going to be seeing how we're going to add corner relief to our solid object or solid diagram, which is shown here in blue color. So we have been learning SolidWorks and seeing how to use different tools and icons to draw solids in SolidWorks. So let's jump right into it. This time around the SolidWorks, we've already started it. So let me just bring it up. So this is SolidWorks environment. Already we've started the program, started the software. If you still want to start it afresh, you can go to File, click New, and select Parts. Then you click OK. Select Parts and you click OK. So you still come to the same environment. Now what we're going to do now is we're going to go to under Sketch, which is already selected. We're going to go to the center, select Center Rectangle. Yes, okay. Before we come to the rectangle, let's come to the Features Manager and select, as usual, top plane. We select top plane. Okay. Then, Features Manager, select top plane. It's top plane, and you select Sketch. Okay. So it is on the top plane Sketch. Let's check it again. Top plane. Okay. Sketch. Okay, fine. This is a top plane Sketch. It comes looking like a flat surface to you here. Then we go to the center rectangle, select the option center rectangle. Then we come to the origin here, click here, draw, okay, and click, then right click and click select to close the dialog box. So we have this. So let's give it some dimensions. So let's click Smart Dimension, click Smart Dimension. Then we click on this side, click here, drag. We're going to make this side 100, press enter. We click on this one too, make it 100, click on it, press 100, type 100, press enter. Okay, so we have something like this. Then we click the close dialog box, we close it. Then as usual, we'll make it a flange. So we go to the sheet metal menu, then come to the base flange tab, click base flange tab. Okay, so it gives us this feature like this. And look at it very well. It's going downwards. The direction of the flange is going downwards. So let's make first the thickness of the flange. Sheet metal thickness. You can see here, sheet metal thickness. We'll leave it at 2 mm. Then let's select reverse direction. Okay, try to go on the reverse direction. We leave the K factor at 0.5. I think every other parameter we leave it the same. Then we click OK. Okay, so we have the shape here. So the next thing is to, under the sheet metal, is to create edges or to create edge flanges. So we go to the edge flange, which is still under sheet metal, click edge flange, click edge flange here. Okay, we click on this side, click on it, draw up, we click to a position, then we give it a diameter, or the length it should go. So this time the flange length I was selecting, entering 80, so I type in 80 mm. Then I think then we leave the edges as the same. Remember, as we have done in other lessons, you can adjust the edge if you desire how the edge will be, but let's leave it as we saw it initially, depending on your measurements. Then we come to this point here. Okay, we click on this one. It follows the same dimension, which is 80 mm. Click on this one. Okay, so we have 3. Then we click close dialog box. So we have this shape right here. So let me right click it and click zoom to fit so that we have a perfect view. Okay, so then right click Okay, zoom to fit, that's okay. Then the next thing we are going to do, we're going to create corner reliefs, create edges. Now if we watch very, very carefully, if we zoom this, right click, and if we zoom, for example, we zoom out, if we zoom out a bit, if you notice, if you look at this edge, there's a space. So that was defined when we were doing the edge flange. So, okay, I think we leave it at that, which was defined. But if we want to really see it, we can go back. Let's type, press Ctrl Z. Okay, we come back to this point. Let's go back to the edge flange. I just wanted to bring that up. So we go back to the base, go back to the edge flange icon. You click on it. Then when you click on it, then you click on this position. You drag up. You enter the length as 80. Okay, the length as 80. Now let's scroll down. Okay, let's scroll down. The angle here is 90. You can change the angle to something else. You can see if you alternate the angle, it bends, but we want it at 90. So let me just type 90. I press enter here. Now let me scroll down and see. Scroll down and see. Okay, I was so then okay, let me say, it said use default radius. Let me remove the default radius. It said the default radius is 0.7. Now I can make it just 0.5. That is where we adjust the difference between two of the edges of each flange. So I make mine 0.5. Press enter. So then anytime I click on this, yes, click here, yes. Then we click OK. If we right click here and go to zoom in and out, let's zoom out. Okay, let me select it, or let me come to pan so I can move it downwards. Okay, right click, and I also select rotate. I just wanted to show you the difference between the edges. Now let me zoom out a bit. You can see that they are closer now. So let me zoom to fit. Now the edge between the space between each edge is now 0.5. So that's what. So the edge here and the edge here is 0.5. I wanted to make it zoom. Let me zoom out a bit. Then zoom out. Select zoom. Select zoom out. I wanted to emphasize that. Okay. You can see we're not even seeing the visibility because it is smaller. So you can adjust that size. So let's leave it at that. Let's come back to zoom to fit. Okay, we have this here. Then, so the next thing we're going to do is to create spaces or an allowance for welding at these corners here. So we're going to add a corner relief. So me right click here and I click select. Then I go to sheet metal. I think sheet metal. Okay. Then we have under sheet metal we have this option here which is called corners. If I select the option here, come here, you see corner relief. I say corner relief. Now, where are the corners? This is the one corner here and another corner here. So under the options we have two bend corner. Then to see the corners, we can click here and click collect corners. When we click corner, you see the corners have become visible. So we have just two corners here. Then let's scroll down. If we scroll down under the options, scroll down, then we can select, instead of rectangular color, let's make it a circular color, a corner. Then we can also adjust the length of the corner. So for the corner is 0.73, but let me make the corner 5 to give allowance for welding. I click inside, you see now there's an indication that it has been made up to 5 millimeters. So, and if everything is okay and I click OK, then you see the corner relief here. If I right click and I select zoom and rotate, and let me rotate it. I click, you can see the other corner too also has a corner relief, so you can see, so it's beautiful. So that's about that. So I right click now and I click what? Select. Now I want to work on the sides, so I click on this side. Then you see this option comes out. I'll go to zoom to normal. Once I say zoom to normal, this face will appear to me, will face me directly. Okay, but it's facing the other direction. So let me rotate it. I come to zoom and rotate. I click rotate view. So because I want it in a proper, okay, this direction. Okay, I click on this one, select this one, click zoom to normal. Okay, fine. This is what I want here. So the next thing I want to do now is create cut through, because if you look at our shape here, look at, there's a cut here. So we want to generate that now from our 3D model. So we come back to the option here. Okay, now we'll go to sketch, go to the line tool, then we can click from a particular position, any position here, because we're still going to give it dimensions. Then come to this edge, we give a click on it, then we can right click and select. Now to make sure it's in the proper, properly aligned and properly have the proper dimension, let's come to smart dimensions. Smart dimension, I click smart dimension again. Okay, then I click from this point and I select this point here, click, so it's 32. So I want to make it 25. I press enter. You can see there's an adjustment there. I click from this point here and I bring it down here. Okay, it's 23. I want to make it 25. I press enter. Okay, so we have 2 dimensions. So this gives you an exact dimension. Now, what we're going to do now is we're going to cut through this. Then we click close. Then we go back to sheet metal. Then you come back to the option extruded cut. When I click extruded cut, now watch what happens here. The options are shown, but watch, there's an arrow here. This arrow is going downwards. Now if I right click and rotate, let's see what's really happening. Rotate, I click here, you see it's going downwards. You get it? Now, so let me right click and go back to let me right click and click on this arrow here. This arrow here, right click. Okay, let me escape now. So let me close this first. Okay, I'll Control Z. Let me go back. That's not what I wanted to achieve. Okay, so we are back here. So let's go back to sheet metal. Click to extruded cut. So this is the what we are looking at that point in time. So I'm going to reverse the direction. I'm going to change the direction. Fine. When I change the direction, we're going to see what happens now. By the time I do click and I zoom to rotate, rotate it. Now you can see it's going in this direction. Fine. Then from this option here, I select instead of bind, I select true all. When I select true all, watch what happens. So you can see now it goes through the entire solid object. Now let me zoom to fit so that we can see, have a better view. It's still a bit too small. Let me zoom out, zoom out. Fine. Now see so it cuts through. Then I think if we're okay with this, then we click OK. If we click OK, you can see now we have cut the shape into a proper size that looks like what we want to achieve. So now let's continue what we are doing. So we click on this edge here, we select this edge here, then we select normal too. Now this side is facing us, so we're going to draw the circles in between. So let's click on sketch, click on cycle, which also cycle. Then we come to this point here, we look for a point here. Okay, any point here, just click and we draw a circle. So we use this corner here, we draw another circle here, then we come from this circle, this corner here, we're taking this corner, you see, We draw another circle here. We'll give it dimensions later. So you can see now that we click OK. Then the next thing we do, let's give it some dimensions. We click dimensions here. We make this circle here, click here. The width here is 25, okay, it's 25.78. Let's make it exactly 25. Press enter, okay. Then we click the length from here to this distance here. We click from here to this point here. Is 38. Let's make it 35. Press enter. Fine. Then the distance from here to this point, we click on it. We click his point. Click here. Click to this point. Okay. Let's go back to the smart dimensions. Click from this point here, and let's take from this point here. Okay. It's 35.36. Let's make it exactly 35. Press enter. So this is set. We can do same for this. So let's make this one. Let's make this dimension for this of this cycle here. Click smart dimension. Okay, it's already selected. Come here, click. Okay, it is 9.3. Let's make it 10. But before that, okay, let me go back Ctrl Z. We can make Ctrl Z again. So we are here. So let me click on this. Let me click close here. Before that, let's make this equal relation. That means whatever happens here will be happening here. So if I click this cycle here, hold the shift key, click this cycle here, hold the shift key, and I come to this option here, click equal. Now they are equal. If you watch them very carefully, I click OK. Then let me make this dimension now. Click here, click this dimension here, come to this point 9.9, make it 10, press enter. Okay, then make the dimension from this point to this point. It's reading 22. Let's make it 20. Okay, then I think we can leave this out like this. So if we come to this one now, we click on this. Now because we have already made it equal relation, this is already reading 10. So we click OK. So now let's make the dimension from this point to this point. It is 13. Let's make it 20 like the one below. Let's make this one 20. Okay, it's not looking well, so let's adjust it. We can decide to change it just for the purpose of learning. Press it, make it 15. So we have some dimensions here. So if we're done with this, we click close. So we click close. So the next thing we go to sheet metal, then go to extruded cut. Now watch what happens. Let me right click and rotate. If I click rotate here, I rotate it. Now you can see where it stops, where the cut stops. So if you want to go through, you come to this point here and go to through all. If you say through all, it cuts through all. Let me zoom to fit so that you can see it in a better view. Go through all. Then you click OK. When you do that, you can see now if I right click and rotate it, you will see that rotate view, it has been cut on both sides. So we are making good progress. So the next thing we want to do, we want to create a circle, a cut through this point here. So what are we going to do? Let me right click, click select this point here. Then when you select this point, come to this point and click normal to. So we are here now. So let's draw two circles. Let's draw a circle. So come to sketch, click center circle, then come to this point to center here, click it, draw a circle. This is the first circle. Then click again from the center, draw another circle. Now this circle will be for construction, but you have to indicate it. So if I click here and I come here and I select for construction. Okay, so this is for construction. Then you click close. There you come to your sketch, select center line. Center lines for mirror purposes, select center line. Come to this point here, click, come to this point here, then select any angle you decide. We are going to adjust the angles by dimensions later. I click, then click select. So So far, look at what we have. Then the next thing, let's give it dimensions. We come to dimension here, click smart dimension. We can click this one, make it it's 42. Let's make it 40. This one, click this dimension too. It's 72. Let's make it 75. Then we want to make this angle 45. We can click from this point here and click this point here and make the angle. Okay, click from that point. We already clicked. Let's click this angle, then move it up. Fine. We have 45, 54. Click here, make it 45. Press enter. So the angle is 45. So we click close. So we have a shape, close. Then we click the center circle again. Then we click on this point. Then we draw a simple circle. Then we right click and select to close it. Check the smart dimension. Let's get an exact size. It's reading what? 12. Let's make the circle 10. Press enter. Okay, so we have a smart dimension. So now the next thing we're going to do, we're going to mirror it so we can have different of those shapes here. So let me close this bar here. So I come to, we're under sketch. We come to this point, this tool here called linear sketch pattern. I click on it, come to circular sketch. I click circular sketch. Then I come to the circle here. I click by the edge of the circle. Then I come to this point here and I click it. Sorry. Okay, I escape. I click. Okay, let me repeat the process. I click on linear sketch pattern. Now let me select some options here. Here, this one is already selected. Then, okay, let's see which other options. It's going to be 4. Fine. Then I think we leave every other thing the way it is. Then we come to this edge. You select this edge from, say, parameters from this point. Then entities to pattern. Let me see this option here. Okay, you select this entities to pattern here. Then select this edge. Okay, then select this. Okay, select this point here. Okay, then let's click this point here. Okay, it's not giving us what we want. Let me escape again. Okay, let me come to, okay, so we go to mirror center, circular sketch. Select the point. We select this point, horizontal point 2. Okay, let me clear this point here, clear selections. Let me clear the selections. There's no selections here. Okay, and I come to this mirror point. Mirror point is select point here. Okay, yes, point 2. Yes, then select this. Fine. So this is what I wanted to achieve. So the first thing you do, you clear the selection here. You select the point of the mirror line. Then you click the shape. You can see all of them appear onto this place. Exactly. Then you click close. So you have 4 exact shapes in this circle here. So the next thing we will do now is to let me click here and click okay, I just click outside here. Then the next thing, I come to sheet metal, then come to extruded cut. When I say extruded cut, now all the shapes here are going to be extruded. Let me right click and zoom and rotate it. Yes, come here. Now you can see it is extruded. But this one now, we're not going to select through all. We can just say link to thickness. The binding is already linked to the thickness. So we just click OK. Beautiful. So let's see it. So let's zoom and rotate it and see how it looks like now. So you can see the under now is now, the holes are now cut properly. Now for that is for that. Now let's do the other one. Right click, click select, click on this one. Then come to normal plane, because we also want to do the same thing we did there. So we come to sketch, select circle, click on the center here. Click another one, select it for construction. Okay, then right click and close. Then we select the center line, put the center line, click from this point, click here, select, then do the same thing, select any angle here, right click, select. Then we now select our dimension, select dimensions, select this, so 32, and make it 30, press enter, select, click on this, it was 52, the other one was 75. For the purpose of this dimension here, let me just make this 60, press enter, so it not be too big. Then the angle here, we click on this point here, come to this point here, then take your angle. Okay, it's not giving us, so you can repeat it. It's already selected for this option here. Select this other option, then you move it. Okay, 54. Let's make it still what? 45. Press enter, so it adjusts the angle. We click OK. So we select the cycle, draw at this point as we did before. Right click, click, select, give it a dimension. I think we give the former one 10. Come to this point, it's also already 10. So let's leave it there at 10. No adjustments. So we do the same till we click OK. So we come to mirror entities, select circular sketch pattern, select this option here, this one, this is selected. Okay, and let's see, we clear any selection. There's no selection there to clear. Okay, so we select this point here, click on this point, then click this one. You can see the 4. So we have done it without issues now. Then we click OK. Then we have this 4 points. Remember, this one is selected, so we have to remove this selection here. So we click outside, fine, because when you do your extrude, only this one will be extruded. So we have 4 points here too. So now we go to sheet metal, then we go to extruded cut. Extruded cut. Then we right click and check the rotate view. Okay, see, this one is also connected. Look at the back here. So we can say also what link to thickness. Then we click OK. So let's right click, rotate it, and we'll see how beautiful it's looking. Rotate it, fine, it's looking very beautiful now. So let's right click again and zoom to fit. Okay, so right click again and click what? Select. So we have done. Now, before we make progress, look, watch this area here. You discover that everything you have done is listed here. You started from the origin, you clicked on sheet metal, it's there. The base edge flange, which was this one, the edge flange 2, one of the edge flange, then the corner reliefs you added, the cut extrude, all the things you carried out are all listed by your left hand side. So that is everything that is in this solid right here. So we click on this shape right here. Then from this option, you see where it says appearances. This is the color. Appearances, I right click it. Then the appearances for the body. I click the body. Now you can see different colors come out here. So you can select a color that suits you. So let's select pink. We can select red. We can select green. Anyone that suits you, yellow. So let's leave it yellow or green or light green. Anyone that suits you, or orange, or let's say light green. I think that is okay. Then we click OK. So this is your shape here. So let's go and see it in 3D animate as usual. So we go to 3D views, click publish to publish to E drawings, click OK, and we click OK. Then it generates, it brings it in 3D formats. Then we're waiting for it, so we come to play animation, then click play. Then you see how your diagram looks like, your solid looks like. It's looking beautiful. Okay, so this is how you generate this solid object. So we're going to do one more thing in this lesson. One more thing we're going to do in this lesson. So we're going to close this animation right away. Close it. Close the animation right away. Then we're going to see how we can generate an e-drawing for this. To generate an e-drawing for this, we come to this option here. This option here, click here. This under the new option. You can now say make drawings for your assembly part. But first, let's save this. Let's save this. Click save. Remember, we should use DX files. So, because of our CNC machine, so DX file. Okay, you already know how to use DX file. We can save it directly. So let's we can use a DX file. So let's call it solid 4. Click save. Okay, it's also going to generate it. So we've saved it. Now let's generate an E. Okay, still loading on it. Okay, we're waiting for it to do its final generation. Okay, so while it's doing that, let me press escape because I want to quickly do the generate the e-drawing. So I come to this option here, new. I come to this option here, new, and I come to make drawings for your part assembly. When I click this option here, then you say first save and insert. Let me save it. Let me call it part 2. Let's just leave it at part 2. Click save. Then let's see what it comes up with. Then it asks you what kind of sheet you want to use. Let me use the sheet. Let me use this A3. You can use A4, but let me use A3. I click OK. If I click OK, so you can see all the parts are generated in drawings here. So anyone I click, if I click this one, I drag it to this point, I have it here. Then I press escape. I come look at the option here. I click any one of it I want. I bring it out. See the drawing here. You press escape. Click the option here. So if I want the full part, I come here, or I want this one, I click here. I click and drag. So any of the shapes that you want. But then if you want to color it, you can see it is selected here. Now come down here. Let me scroll down. You can see where it says high quality. Then I can say for the entire body. You see that? If I select this too, I scroll down for the entire body. You select this option. This is what it gives to you. So any option you want. Then from this drawing here, you can still do some adjustments or do some dimensions. You can go straight to Smart Dimension. Click at this point. It will give you a dimension here. You see? Click this point. It can give you a dimension here. Click this point. It can give you a dimension here. So this will give you a complete full e-drawing. So that is drawing a solid object, adding corner relief. We've learned how to add corner reliefs, use the tools, the base flange tool, the edge flange tool, the extruded cut. Then we also learned how to generate the animation, also generate an e-drawing. So I hope that you have learned a lot from this lesson. My name remains Vincent Hope. So if there are any comments or any questions you want to ask as regards this lesson, you can drop your comment in this video. You can also tell us areas that you would like us to cover. And like we'll always say, if you have enjoyed this video, please like, share this video on all your social